incline. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Guess you could say we haven't had enough fix for one day with play track racing. Hi everyone, I'm the Crusader, Christian Shire, joining you guys here today as we are watching on here at Talladega, Alabama, and the drivers of the Dash for Cash IROC Series right here on the show, ready to get down to business and get down to some top level high speed octane action here. It is really about time we get down to business and we get down to some hard racing with these truck series and the division that has brought us some incredible moments throughout the time and throughout the history. We just witnessed one heck of a finish here just a minute ago here on Peach Race TV with a solid 0.005 of a second finish that separated the winners out. Will we see something similar here at Talladega? We'll find out in just a little while. But right now, drivers currently engaging around the 2.5 mile version here of Talladega Superspeedway. Of course, this is not the usual high racing Superspeedway 3 mile big as it can be, toughest nailed logic. No, this is the actual. Let's try to slightly tone it down, but still be as chaotic as we possibly can. This is over 2.5 miles in length, I should say, 2.66 miles in length. It is absolutely incredible how big this track is and how big this place is, with the actual air base that was based on this whole land and this whole world to begin with here. This is how Talladega became to be what it is known for. It was all thanks to that big infield air base down there. That's how it all started and how it all was created. And it's pretty crazy to think now here on the show, what we're about to witness here, it could end up sending some drivers flying around the track here, but all that to be found out in due time. We'll listen in with the drivers as we go along for the ride tonight. It's going to be a solid lineup of drivers here to talk with, and really a solid line of drivers here to kind of bring in and speak with as we keep going around here. But the two I would keep your eye on and really remember are these two right here. And that is without a doubt Rick Seabrans and that number 95, James Mayer. Those two, in my opinion, are going to be the ones you're going to have to keep your eye on. You're going to have to keep a very close move on here, because they will be pushing, they will be shoving, and they will be giving it everything they have and then some to try to outsmart the entire field. Will they be able to do it though? Only time will determine that. Qualifying open end has now completed here, so the drivers are now preparing up for the battles ahead and what lays ahead for them and their crew. Pretty solid lineup here to begin with, so a pretty good lineup to go with. Alright, we're going to bring you in here, Wally, but it looks like everyone else wants to try to wreck you out a little bit.
Yeah, sorry about the language there if you caught that. That kind of caught me by surprise.
No, we did not, to be honest with you. So, Well, nevertheless, though, is you get your Black Rifle Coffee Company machine number 51 ready to go here for today's action here at Talladega. How's the track feeling, and how does the draft feel with all this G-force that these boys are laying down on the speeds?
Yeah, so that was actually the first lap that I took. I didn't practice at all. Got in a little bit late myself. Qualifying kind of messed up on the settings there a little bit, so we group qualified. That was a little different as well. Uh, but as far as the feel, the truck feels great. We got a good group of guys back with us. Hoping to continue to grow this thing and put on a larger show for the crowd.
For sure there, and I did talk about James Mayer as well as Rick Seabrins being the two guys that could definitely be the top dogs. Again, they've been the guys to watch out for every time they come out of the track. For all you drivers out here, though, what do you guys do to try to keep them from doing it again?
Split them up.
Split them
Got to
up.
find a way to got to get between them. They, like you said, those two when they get connected, they're a force. So we just got to find a way to split them up.
Well, best of luck to you guys, and we'll see if you can do that and then some here today.
Thank you.
Chris White, ladies and gentlemen, piloting up number 51 today here as we get now ready for today's action here. And your number 2 qualifiers, surprise, surprise, James Mayer in the 95 and Rick Seabrins in the 4. And row number 2, though, is Jeff Napier in the number 4 is outside. That is Gary Ragland. That'll be Gary Ragland in the number 5. In row number 3, it's Kyle Pengraff in the 14 is outside. 12 is Brian Reich. Row 4, Troy Radford in the 94 is outside. That's the 2, Neil Quick. In row 5, Cook Quick will be in the number 23 is outside. It's Ray Radford in the number 6. Row 6 is Chris Wall in the 51. We just talked to them a minute ago. He'll pilot the 51s outside the 13, Jason D. Maines. Final starters, row 7, Matthew Baker. The 15, the 98 is Ian Martin. So, race fans, we're getting ready to get down to business here, get down to the action here on the show, and definitely a whole laundry list of drivers here ready to put up some speed, put up some numbers. Definitely could be a wild little race here, and could be a wild get around. So let's listen to some of these other guys here. Neil, didn't mean to interrupt your conversation there, buddy.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So I was just gonna bring you in real quick here as we get ready for the action here to start. Right now, qualified 8th. I know you guys have been definitely trying to practice a little bit, trying to get a little bit faster on these tracks here. What kind of adjustments did you do to the truck to try to get set up for this one?
Well, right now I've got a crew guy trying to siphon out with a hose out of the other trucks and bring some fuel over here for me.
Makes a real feel in there, huh?
Yeah, because I know the way these things are set up, it's pure strategy. And right now we're sitting here with basically a 50-lap race, and your fuel counter says you got 24 laps before you run out of gas. So it's going to be a first half conservative type deal, and then the second part of the race is when you're going to really start to race and start to challenge each other.
And challenge each other, you guys definitely will plan to. But as I mentioned before, only two guys have been winning this one so far, and they've been the ones that have won most of these races to begin with. Do you think really have anything you guys can split them up or really take advantage of this track today with them around?
It's going to be tough, but I think we can. I think just being smart and making the right moves, we'll be able to get those guys. I can tell you definitely that they're the target for today.
For sure there. All right. Well, Neil, we really appreciate your time here, sir. Best of luck with you and the crew.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Neil Quick, ladies and gentlemen, the number 2, having a little chat there. Let's go ahead and bring in Troy Radford, the man down on the lower end here. Troy, right now, a little bit of a different scheme. I would honestly have kind of guessed. I thought that was an A&W scheme there, but obviously it's a pretty sweet looking ride. What do we got going on down here?
Not a whole lot, man. Just out here trying to get a little bit of money. I forget exactly which scheme this is, but I think I'm running my Lucky Fin, either my Lucky Fin project or my National Kidney Foundation truck. I'm not sure.
I would presume it's the National Kidney Foundation truck, because you got some handprints on the front of that hood there. I couldn't get a good
So the handprints, that's actually a Lucky Fin project.
Oh,
so my son was actually born with half of one arm. He has no hand on his left arm. So Lucky Fin project is all about limb difference awareness.
Wow, that is an awesome scheme then, to say the least, and definitely a good truck to really bring some love and support to you and your family, man. So with that in mind, do you think this truck is going to get a bit of that lucky, get a little bit of that Lucky Fin underneath itself to help out today?
I hope so, man. So Talladega and Daytona are not my favorite tracks, but I'm usually in contention, and just hope to avoid any mess and get no damage.
That's
about it.
For sure there. All right, Troy. Well, really appreciate coming on board here, sir. Best wishes and luck with you and the crew.
Thank you, bud.
running with a big heavy heart and a lot of love down there for his kid there, man. That is about as racing as it gets, my friends. We are set to go for the action today. Here the field is ready to get down to business, get down to the show. And we are now all ready to go here. The IROC Dash for Cash Series is back underway, race fans, and the time has come. We'll bring our drivers around town here once again. You heard them earlier, though, 50 laps, and these guys have one goal. Split those two up front. Do not let them win this one. Well, if you want to do it, you better figure it out quick, because when they get it going, I guarantee you they will hold you back and they'll hold everyone down in the place. Off of corner number 4 on the front straightaway, they go here. The green flag is set, and it waves up. We're ready to go racing. Here we go. 50 laps of the distance. Still without a single caution in these entire race series, which honestly, if you believe me when I say this, I still can't even believe for the life of me that hasn't happened yet. They've what, 2 or 3 of these so far, and they haven't had one caution out of all of them, whether it be Talladega, was Daytona. I guarantee if we throw them at our speedways, though, we might be able to get that changed a little bit. And again, that is just maybe my opinion, maybe my little guessing game there. Anyway, bring him down around town off of corner number 3 and 4 here in the field, off to a hot start as Rick Seabrans yet again and James Mayer already taking full advantage of the run. And I have a feeling they were listening in to what Chris Wally, Neil Quick, and all of them said. Split the dynamic duo up. They know fuel lines are going to be extremely limited. They've only got 24 laps of fuel, so they're going to have to be a little bit smarter. They're going to have to be a little bit more under ease, under control, and really watch and pace these guys and themselves to make sure they don't get too out of control and too far ahead of themselves where they're going to take full run and full charge. That is going to be the biggest issue these drivers face all day long. The onboard camera here right now with the number 6 Ray Radford here as these guys just get off to a slow but sure start. And remember, the reason why they're a little slower than you saw earlier in the IROC Superspeedway deal was because they have a fuel limit and they know how many laps it takes really for that lap fuel and all that gets to be too much and gets to be too tore up. Generally speaking wise, you have 2 options. You can go for the 3 pit stops to make sure you are fully lit, fully ready to go and ready to finish out, or you can try and play the very, very, very long strategy, which is extremely difficult to do, and it also can get you into trouble, which is you just simply put the fuel line and cells into clutch mode and put clutch in after a certain point to start saving the fuel and start saving off on the run. Stay out of the throttle so often and give yourself some time to breathe. That's why a lot of times you see drivers do what they're doing right now. They're trying to grab, well, keep their motors and their speeds from overdoing it. As you see right now, although Rick Seabrans and James Mayer, they're already going the outside. They're wanting drivers to pass them by so they can save up on it now. They knew what they were up to. And now it's Kyle Pengraff, number 14, the driver we have yet to see in quite some time. Actually be able to pull off a big battle here. Yeah, honestly, it's been a time or two, and I guarantee he wants to change that today. So field's kind of stretching out right now at the moment here. Guys getting a little bit less antsy, starting to get a little bit more under the radar. They want to get some speed going, it looks like, and I don't blame them. But again, only about 1/10 away there so far. I mean, really, in all honesty, I would not be trying to go too crazy, too out of control just yet as Jason D. Maines and Ian Martin take the early lead. Last time we saw these two come out here to the track here, the Ian Martin Racing number 98 Toyota Tundra and the Jason D. Maines machine, unfortunately, had kind of put themselves into a bit of a workaround here. They thought they had timed their strategies just right to actually go in and only have to do 2 pit stops, but they ended up having to do 3. to get the full fuel mileage, costing them any chance of really winning that one out. I talked to Ian earlier on this morning here, and he told me here at Talladega, he's like, man, I hope we don't make the same mistake twice, but we've got to start figuring something out, because we know how to run these super speedways, we know how to do these plate track ordeals, but we're just not getting any breaks, we're not getting any luck out here. We're going to have to get something done. Well said and done, indeed he will, as he continues to drive hard and drive quick, looking for areas of opportunity when he can. Down across the back end here on the back straightaway, and currently it's still anybody's guess who's going to start taking charge, going to stick a run around here. We saw, of course, Talladega ran earlier today by the NASCAR Cup Series here. And of course, congratulations to Ross Chastain on his race win in the #1, bringing home a big victory at Talladega of all things, to back up his battles and his wars he had at the Circuit of the Americas. It's pretty crazy though to see just how versatile that next-gen Cup car really has become, and what it has done for the sport entirely. If anything, it may indeed actually be a cheaper way of drivers getting around and actually being able to use them on the tracks anymore. In some regards, I'd say it kind of compares to the 1987s, back when they had those around. Because back then, they didn't know what kind of super speedway or what kind of actual track that car they were going to use. They just had a car and they were going to run it. That was the way it was back in the old days, and I kind of think we brought the old school way back, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Truck Series, obviously, it's a little different. They have to still do their usual, find a good setup for the plate tracks, find a good setup for a 1.5 miles, or find a good setup for a short track, but all in all, though, I mean, once you get something dialed in, you got something dialed up, ready to go, then that's all it really takes, and that's all you really need. Chris Wally here in the 51 Black Rifle Coffee Company. If there's one guy I feel like really, in my opinion, does not get enough credit, enough due for what he's been doing for the sport and what he's been doing around on the tracks here, I gotta believe it's definitely him. The heart, the sweat, and the blood he puts into these machines, and the time he puts into training with these guys and working with everybody, truly to me just shows kind of his overall heart and dedication he brings to the sim sport and the sim world. But at the same time, I mean, it doesn't necessarily just get you wins or get you victories. You still got to earn them out there. He knows this, but he hasn't been to victory lane in quite a while. And he's hoping to kind of get that fixed up as soon as possible here. Just nearly about 1/5 away there. Jason D. Main's getting pushed up there by Ian Martin as the 98 now. Goes right on top, trying to save his teammate here on the 13, trying to help him out. This is something you see a lot of plate tracks, is when teammates get in with each other and kind of work together as a group and as a faction, trying to stabilize and really manipulate everything that goes on. The strategies right now being put on full display are definitely getting a bit harder to really counteract and counter-attentively, though I can say that 14 Kyle Bengraf, he's got an idea what he's up to. He's trying to use Ian Martin as a little bit of a bulldozer is what I mean to say, by basically having Martin just kind of push and shove him up around the track and make him get some room up there so he can use it for later on. Not a bad idea right now, but I mean later on we've seen what happens when you decide to become an actual bulldozer. Not saying anything specifically, but pretty much anything that happens at Daytona 500 during the Talladega races. I'm sorry, guys. Double filed up, and I guess we completely forgot about Chris Wally. He just said he just moved up the chains. He's like, I'm hearing you talk up there, Crusader, and I'm like, well, maybe I should go join these guys up front. I don't know how he got ahead of the guys in the back so quickly, but boy, howdy, did he bring some speed in, he bring in the run. My goodness. Full link charge, full link run. He gave it everything he had, and then some, and found a way around it. Field starting to get a little bit more under the pace, under the control line here. Everyone's looking for some positions, trying to find some speed. I mean, if I was them right now, I would probably try to pace myself a little bit more than what they're doing right now. I'd probably stand back just a little bit, not trying to over-ramp the speeds, over-ramp the corners. But again, at the same time, you got so much time on your hands, and you got so much speed you got to worry about. That doesn't help much case as much. 199 right now, our fastest time, set, cook, quick. Laying down a blistering 256 out of that 199 limit, but a 200 was hit by his family member Neil a while ago. Got a flat out 200 mile per hour go. Absolutely amazing and insane. Just what brings to the table and what brings out on the track. We're getting that and then some here. Down across the front straightaways here, still now looks like single file draft train, Talladega draft train being put to good use here, being put to good showmen of themselves. It's still pretty wild in my eyes just seeing that these guys, right now anyway, what they're up to, what they're doing, they're being very cautious, they're being very optimistic. But at the same time, they just don't want to do anything too crazy yet. Laps starting to pour on right now. You're going to see drivers getting ready to head into pit road here in about 10 laps or so. And again, they've got to be very cautious when they choose to go in, because remember, it's kind of a free-for-all going down into those pit roads. And that's where, really, in my opinion, that's where most of the trouble starts, and that's where most of the positions kind of switch around if they haven't already. It's not hard to change positions or switch around here, but it's very difficult to get a good leg up on these guys. Gary Ragland right now, I believe, making his television debut here on P3's TV. Currently just falling back a little bit behind the field, a bit behind the pace right now. Looks like he may be having some troubles getting the truck to kind of fire up and really start a boost up, but he is still hanging in that draft, so I presume he's probably just saving fuel a little bit more than anything. I think what Wally did earlier, honestly, is kind of a testing and a showing to see if what he would do would work out in that favor and work out in that timestamp here, because again, what he was trying to do was trying to basically hammer home and hammer down the speeds and find the leg up on these guys. The other 5, Matthew Baker here, already went into pit road, and looks like he's not quite going to be able to hold up with the field and hold up with the positions. He's going to falter a lap down, and if he's not careful, he can go even further down, so he's going to have to start being a little bit more careful. If anything, maybe he was trying to go into pit road before everyone else gets squared up beforehand, but that did not quite go the way he was hoping for. That did not play out the way he needed to. Something mechanically is going wrong, I bet you, in that truck. Great camera view from high above the skies here. A packed house of upwards of over 100,000 in attendance here today. 50, 60,000 came here to the IROC Series. The others, I believe, just kind of hung around here with the notice of free beers in the stands from the Cup Series. If I had to guess, that's usually Alabama for you. Starting to wrap around the track here, starting to get some speed underneath their hoods here, and looks like now we're getting closer and closer to edging out that big move, the big jump into pit road. The Dash for Cash Series, I mean, honestly, I do like calling this series. I do like calling some of this stuff because it does kind of get interesting to see how strategies play out, how speeds are going to work out in someone's favor versus how they would work out in someone else's case. And unlike the IROC Challenge Series, which you see on Thursday nights, where they have a stage break, 3 of them to be exact, like they would normally in a NASCAR Cup race, this is the complete opposite. There are no stage breaks. It's all in the race and in the zone itself. So even pacing flow that comes with these races is pretty much garnered and controlled by what these guys do out on the track and what they do on the long surface or long term. About 20 laps now completed in. We are only 30 laps away from finishing this one out. And so far anyway, it's been Ian Martin, Jason D. Maines that have led up a good chunk of this race here out of the get-go, and they've been pretty much kind of keeping it controlled and stabilized throughout. I think everyone's trying to figure out who's going to enter into pit road first and who's going to make the big jump around first here. So movement coming through the backs, coming through the march of the charge. Ray Radford and Rick Seabrins now, they are all moving up to the front, moving up for the positions into the ranks. 3 wide salute here between the drivers. Jockeying for position now, trying to get out of the mess, trying to find some openings here. Everyone looking for the that little overarching story, the little overarching shot under the arms and under the legs. Couple more laps and it's time to head into pit road here. Brian Reich, the 12th Spartan, Miss Logistics Management LLC machine, trying to get some hard hitting, some hard charging up there with his team, and Kyle Pengraff and Chris Wally. Wally looking to possibly take the race lead over for a minute or two, trying to make things work their while, make it worth their time. Coming off the end, no driver getting out of this one just so easily. Into the corner zone here. The number 40 is also making some rounds here. Jeff Napier coming through the pack, coming through the charge. A lot of guys right now, they're just trying to find the right time to enter into pit road. I don't think they're expecting any caution, so they're trying to strategize and make the best of what they're given and what they can do. Radford, Seabrins, and Mayer, man, they're getting pretty handedly on those speeds, on those charges. But again, I'm just kind of wondering, how long is that going to last, and how long is it going to go before eventually these guys are just going to have to start kind of owning up and admitting defeat? They've got to start doing something. Well, either way here, they've got a couple more laps left to go, and then the time comes. Down the legs here on the front, on the back end stretches here to the turn 3, turn 4 area. And we'll see if anybody heads to pit road. Nope, everybody stays out. They're all going to stay out, which means this time around they should all be heading to pit road, because I guarantee you they are not running. They're running on fumes here at this moment. I am kind of shocked though. I thought honestly somebody would have had to have given out. Down on the ends here now, and yep, there goes Radford. There goes the rest of the bunch here. A couple guys going in. Radford, Maines, Martin, Ragland, and Baker all go in. The rest stay out. And that's with the 25 laps to go, mind you, so that may be a very bold little move. I thought honestly that would be about the time everyone would have gone in. I'm surprised they're going to stay out as long as they are here. But Seabrins and Mayer have a plan right now, and that is to make sure they work every ounce of that throttle, every ounce of that speed. I know respect in the driving style of these guys is one thing, but at the same time, when you eventually just start taking some big moves and some big risk on each other, well, this one could get interesting here. Here we go. Madness entering in pit road. Seabrins, Mayer get through it clean, and everyone else does the same. Awesome driving by all involved. That's probably one of the cleanest, like, multi 10 car, 10 truck, all what you will, like, the times I've ever seen anyone go into pit road. That was a pretty clean move. I've been in quite a few races where that's actually happened, but I mean, not often where I'd see like 10 of them actually doing it. Jason D. Maines, Ray Radford, and Ian Martin. Well, actually, Ian Martin got a penalty for going in pit road way too fast in the corner. So 3 of these drivers are out fighting right now for position without Martin. Martin definitely knows he cost himself here with that pit stop penalty. He's going to rely on a caution here, and I don't think he's going to get it. And the fields are already driving back out on the track here. So 1 extra lap, they know they'll be good to go on that end. Jason D. Maines trying to get some help from Matthew Baker, and as well as the 6 of Ray Radford. But James Mayer, Rick Seabrins, Neil Quick, Troy Radford, they're already out and about. This could be way too late for them to go for it. That's a big deal here, my friends. That's a very, very big, tall order here for these drivers now to face up against. They know they needed that strategy to work. They needed something to go, but it was not going to go there. Not the way this was playing out. Now, again, that's not to say they couldn't see some yellow popping up, but again, we saw earlier on where really, unless you had some drivers in there that were a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more of a handful to deal with, for the most part, it seemed like everybody here in this race is the complete opposite. They're very under control, very stabilized because they know their limits and they know their rules. The laws and the real and dealing of a racetrack like this, make up for the difference and make up for the chaos that comes with it. Opportunities striking, coming big and coming hard here. So 21 laps now remaining here for the IROC Series Dash for past drivers and race fans. We do thank you and appreciate you for coming on board here as well for all of our races today. From the YouTube side of things, the live action of the Joe Sixpack Racing League season finale to the Pedal to the Metal Racing League season opener to now the Dash for Cash Series go around. Always something going down here on our Sunday night activities and our Sunday night racing, and next week we will continue that hot streak here as Dash for Cash returns to the show. And then on the 8th, unless something else changes, it will be just the Mother's Day with the PTM Truck Series. And then on May 15th, we'll see Shake and Bake Racing League bringing out down to Kansas Speedway, where they'll have themselves another day and a half of racing there to be sure. And on May 29th, well, for once we're going to get a little live action from our Moonshiner boys. The Moonshiners Rallycross League will be in action on May 29th. You do not want to miss any of our coverage of all our shows. It'll be something fun to watch. And of course, that's just on Sundays. We're not even talking about the rest of the weeks, the rest of the weekdays and all that. Friday's just coming up on their final legs of the races here, so you don't want to miss their season finale coming up soon as well. There's so many hard starts and so much hard racing we are about to witness and see on our shows, whether it be YouTube or Facebook. You guys can't miss them, believe me. So like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head to our YouTube, subscribe there if you want to see more great content. If you want to see new things or try some things, feel free to leave us a suggestion in the comments down below, or also leave it down in our messenger chats. We will certainly be looking at those as we go along. Zebrans and Mare right now, no surprise here. They're leading the race in, but remember they cannot get too comfortable there, knowing that this is Talladega. This is a wide open track here, so they can be easily disregarding here with how quick things can change on a dime. Remember, there are 3-4 extra lanes up there you could use if you absolutely had to. I guarantee you that you can block as much as you want, but eventually somebody's going to make a big move and it's going to make a real big charge on you without having anything left to say at it. This is the first pack right now. You see here as the second pack here, led up by, of course, the 40 of Jeff Napier and them. And it is absolutely nuts to see how far one of the others are. And it looks like that pack behind him as well here looks like they're going to have a little bit of a fun round here, roundabout with Mr. Chris Wally and the 51 trying to make a little bit of a charge up. Bill's starting to pull the reins in, starting to get a little bit more comfortable here. And that's kind of honestly a bit of the same ordeal, the same story we've seen before, but how long before it gets a little too close for comfort before somebody just starts to think maybe it's time we start changing this up a notch? Hard to really say, and really in my opinion kind of hard to really put a finger on. Down along the edges here again, drivers still just kind of finding their own little edge, finding their own little speed. You can see Kyle Pengraff, he's going to get put a lap down once again. I mean, if there was ever a driver that just consistently, constantly finds himself on the worst ends, the worst luck, and the worst positions, can I give it to anybody else besides Pengraff? This guy, I mean, he can drive and he can get the job done, but it seems like every time he comes out here, he gets put in the same ordeal, the same spot, and I just don't know how he gets stuck in that position. Field's starting to get closer to the edge, closer to the end of it all. The end game is approaching, and right now those that were hot on the trail and hot on the start here with their pit strategies really have now shown they have outclassed, now smarted some of the field here. Two different styles right now going at it here. One that has a lap left, has a lap extra. The other that has a lap less. Seemingly nobody giving it out though just yet. They don't want to give out or give in that like that. They know you play into this kind of momentum, this kind of ordeal. There's really a lot more it kind of brings into the stable, brings into the momentum. Twelve laps left to go now. The field is starting to get one step ahead, one step into position here for the finale. And it looks like Matthew Baker is the one that's going to kind of help out Jason DeMaines and Ray Radford and all of them. And I think they're going to try to strategize a move around here. I think they're trying. to have him be up front so they don't have to waste gas, have to waste fuel. Problem is they're going to have to push and shove still, so they're having to hit as hard as they can on that five car. What it could mean though is if he pushes and shoves them more, he might be able to get something to go a little bit later in the run, but it's still very tricky, very tough to get through these messes and through that opportunity and that window that comes around with it. And it looks like Chris Wally giving a good push and a shove there to Ian Martin. Getting in between the noses there. Almost takes Ray Radford around for a little ride. Radford, though, presence of mind, knowing Ian Martin was getting underneath this skin a little bit, underneath this truck a bit, manages to put the fenders back together and keep himself away from doing that route. Pretty impressive stuff. Closing laps though, running down to the end here. We've got only about 10 laps to go this next time by. 10 to go at Talladega. Oh, that sounds like something we've said and talked about before. It could get interesting. It could get insanely crazy, or it could get extremely dumb, depending on how you look at it. What will we get here? We're going on board here with Cook Quick. And you could hear that throttle rhythm too when he was coming up on his family member Neil Quick. You actually may have heard it. He had actually let off the throttle pretty incoherently. Actually gave himself some breathing room to try to avoid overclocking and overdoing it. That was kind of his strategy. It's kind of his end game there. It's kind of his point to deal with. It ended up working pretty well, I will say, but I don't know how well that will work out for the long-term habits. Jason D. Maines is catching up to the 23 of Cook Quick here, and Jason is the one that is being led in with that pack of the 5 here, Matthew Baker. But again, I don't think it's enough time here. That's over a good. That's a good 4.5 plus seconds. Now the gap you got to close off. I don't think there's enough time. And I think Seabrans and Mayer may have outsmarted everybody again on the fuel line. But again, when they start to block, when will these guys go for it? This is now just a test of patience and skill. Say we do well about the skill, but it still takes a driver to hold that line down and hold down when you get bumping and banging around here. And it also takes some patience to make sure you don't get thrown into a very, very tough little ordeal coming up. Off of turn number 3 down turn number 4. And now things are getting a little bit dicier. You can see right there that 14 Kyle Pengraf, he is now moving the chains on in. He's giving her everything she's got and making these boys think about this one just a little bit more. That's exactly what he wants. He wants every single one of them to think about it. Trying to get back on that lead lap too. I would think probably would have been a bit of a play that he was looking towards doing later in the race, but again, I don't think that was going to work out that well considering his circumstances, situation. These guys right now up in the back of the pack, they are doing a full throttle assault, push and shove and jump job right now on their trucks. They are hitting each straightaway as hard as they can and trying to push these things as much as they can to try to catch them. They know Cook Quick and them are not going to give out, not back off and give them some run. You know, though, if I was Neil Cook and Troy, honestly, what I would do is I would back off and try to get them the field behind them a little closer, maybe to get them a little bit more in that spot line. Oh, trouble out of turn number 1 and 2. Well, they're going to hold the line down. They're going to keep going. Pengraf got into it, I believe, with Gary Ragland. Ragland then collided in. I'm not sure where that started. That slowed him down a little bit. That might be enough. Look at this now. Look out for this run coming up, because now I think that might have been enough for Jason D. Maines and Mr. Matthew Baker to actually push up and get up to the field. That definitely shrinked the gap down quite a bit here, but I don't even know what the heck happened to Kyle Pengraf and them. Got 7 laps to go. The producer said we can look at the P10 instant replay. I couldn't even tell you for the life of me what happened. I was not watching at the time of that hit. There's another look at it. Watch carefully. And it looks like the 12. Oh, he got the 14 pretty good. And how the heck? I believe the 95 of Mayer hold that line down is beyond me. But I'll tell you right now, there was a Racing Lord looking down on him. Actually, it was the 4 of Sebring. Got extremely, and I mean extremely lucky. But that luck don't mean anything to translating later on to success. Here we go to the outside. Now it's time for Radford to make the big move. Looking for the punch. A 1-2 punch here with only about 5 laps to go. Here could mean a lot of things. It could mean the end of it all if they're not careful. And look behind him now too. After waiting patiently, after pushing and shoving and trying to hope for the best. D. Maines and Baker. Baker a lap down, helping the crew out to get to the front. They've got a chance. They've got a lock. They've got a run. You can see the gap shrinking out. They've got a huge push coming, and they might be able to make these boys think twice about this one. But is there enough time left to make the big pass? They're still a second behind. Oh, they'll catch them. They're definitely going to catch them because now these two are just battling up topside. They're not going to care about what happens to the guys below them. They're all literally working for the same deal to just make sure Seabrins and Mayer don't win this one. They're going to try to do it. Can they get it done? I don't know if Radford's going to try to go to that bottom when he gets a good push here from the two Neil Quick, but these guys are literally locked on bumpers and locked on the run. 4 to go. How fitting the strategies come into play. How fitting the menace continues on. Matthew Baker, what on earth is this man doing? He's going to shoot 3 wide. He pushes Ian Martin and the 13 right in between. Everybody moving in position. They're trying to get out of the way. Radford can't believe what he is seeing right now. Jason D. Maines just completely took his team and got a little help there and took it up to the front. But the 5 of Matthew Baker is not on the lead lap. Will that come back in later to haunt them for doing that move? We'll have to see. 3 to go. Now I see what they're up to. I think Baker might try to block. I think he's going to try and slow the boys behind him down. Try to give the guys on the outside some run. Mayer and Sebring cannot believe what they're seeing. They do not like this. They do not want this. They want to stay in the front. They want to stay on the momentum. But the 5 is going to block them. They're giving him a little run. Now it's time for the 13 and the 98 to start full mounting a charge. They don't have to get ahead of that 5. They just have to get ahead of the 2 below them. Right now, Martin is a lap down. He's helping the 13, though, with everything he's got. Just trying to get somebody to get the win on his team and on his side. 2 laps to go. Green flag high in the air. Troy Radford right behind the mix of it. He's got the Quick family. He's got Chris Wally in that mix. He knows this. He knows the IROC boys will work together if they have to. If we get to a white flag, this will be interesting because then things are going to get even crazier. Things could get a little bit more chaotic. We'll find out though. Off the corner ends here, down in turn number 3, down into turn number 4. Anybody's race, anybody's giveaway. And we're going to get to a white flag indeed, it looks like. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but 3-4 straight races of IROC Challenge Series and the Dash for Cash on plate tracks of all things. And we bring it to a crystal clear, no caution run. The top 5 going to go out of here. Top 5 on your screen right now, battling for one more position. Maines has the advantage. The 5 is slowing them down. This is exactly what Maines wants to see. But the guys on the outside may think otherwise. Here comes the push. Here comes the shove. Will the 95 just get that 5 out of his way? He might think about it. I honestly would be if... Oh! They collide down off of turn number 3. And they all collided. Sebring's the only one to get away from him. Wally gets into the 3rd slot. Sebring's trying to help out, trying to get one more run for his teammate. but Jason E. Maines has company in the bottom. They're blocking the bottom. They're blocking the run. Seabrings has to go to the top. It's not to be, or is it? To the finish line. How'd he do it? How'd he do it? Seabrings will win. Somehow, someway, still, even when you separate them, even when you got him into a wreck, Seabrings or Mayer will walk away with a win, and the number 4 will bring it back to victory lane. Are you kidding me? Unreal. 600ths of a second is the time we're getting right now on that one. And I am unbelievably stunned by this one yet again. They brought it to the line, 56 thousandths of a second to the end, and Seabrings once again back to back for the man in the number 4. His teammate may have got the short end of the stick. It may have got pushed, sent back to the shadow realm. But nevertheless, it was an all-out fight. It was an all-out war at hand. And yet, out of it all, we're still going to see the 4 bring the win. Can you talk about miracles, or can you talk about wild scenarios? Unbelievable. Unreal, my friends. Oh, these don't get old, and these definitely are fun to watch. This is pretty chaotic, to say the least. Alright, while the drivers get settled in here and the smoke clears up around here on PTRace TV, let's go ahead and take a look at our top finishers today. Have it all. Seabrings, another win, another trip to victory lane, back to back for him. Jason D. Maines, I don't know what else you could say about him. The strategy was there. He had everything set. It was still not enough. Chris Wally goes 3rd. Great showing from him. Great to see him finally get a top 3 in. Cook Quick goes 4th. 5th to Neil Quick. James Meyer goes 6th. 7th to Trey Radford. Jeff Napier goes 8th. 9th to Ray Radford. And 10th to Matthew Baker. That will round out your field today. Well, one last thing to do, folks. Let's listen into our drivers and listen to this field. And I guarantee you right now, I have got a feeling Chris Wally's going to be a little ecstatic about this one. He's going to tune in now with us here as he comes away for his first podium in a while. And it's a good time to see you here, my friend. But nevertheless, a 3rd place finish. Congratulations on that. And man, that was wild on that last bit there into turn 3. How the heck did you escape that?
Yeah, got lucky really. Had the correct lane chose there, and really just kind of had to lock up the brakes once. I don't know who got into me, but once it got squirrely, locked them down and just tried to keep it straight.
Kept it straight, kept it on line, and obviously Seabrings and Maines gets ahead of you there, but you still had a lot of control, a lot of overall under it from that, and at the same time, really, this could have gone either way. What we talked about earlier, you said separate Seabrings and Mayer out, and what ended up happening, you separate them out, but somehow Seabrings still finds a way to help out his team and get that win in, man. That's got to be something crazy with this racetrack and these kind of races, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, I told him over the radio there that he had a 4-leaf clover, hitting 3 of these in a row, and the last 2 really coming down to the line real close. So, I'm pretty sure he was the 3rd car back. I know there's a lapper in there, but he was the 3rd car back coming into the tri-oval and still got to the front.
Yeah, he was 3rd car back. He got the run on the bottom and then shot straight for the top. I thought he was done for, but that was not to be. But nevertheless, Wally, I think a lot of people think you were done for. I think you may have proved a lot of them wrong today. Now, as you come away 3rd, who do you want to thank here for this one?
Yeah, so I really want to thank Jason, who finished 2nd. He had a good plan. We were in that 2nd group together. He was a great pusher and leader for our group, getting us caught back up to the first pack. But Spartan Logistics, Spartan Transportation, they sponsor the big league for us. Loud Pedal Gaming, we want to thank y'all up there in the broadcast booth. This is always fun.
It certainly is fun. It's awesome to see you guys back here once again. Wally, congratulations, throwing in our top 3, and good to see you finally back in that podium, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chris Wally, ladies and gentlemen, comes away here 3rd out of it all. Here, Jason D. Maines, though, man, this kid he had everything figured out except one thing, and that was how to get the wins. He now joins me here on the show here, ladies and gentlemen, coming away second. Jason, what a race, man, and what a day it has been. I know you wanted this one so badly, but the strategy nearly perfected. It just came down to that final corner at Talladega. Jason, you got a copy down there? Oh, hold on. I think ours actually disconnected. Hold on a minute. Yeah, our end disconnected. That's why. Alright. Got a copy, Jason? Oh, hold on. Ours might take a second here. Give us 2 seconds here, guys. So I think our whole internet service just completely broke down on us here. Well, at least it had to break down. It's going to break down this time. Alright, you got a copy now, Jason?
I got you, brother.
Okay, sorry. Our whole service just completely froze and broke down on us here. I mean, the good news is we got the whole race in, which I'm shocked that happened. But hey, at least we can finish this one out. So what a race! And speaking of finishing out, my friend, you had to go to the wire here from start to finish, and yet at the end of it all, you still did not come away with a win. I got a feeling that's a little bit heartbreaking, heart crushing for you.
Yeah, I went back and watched the replay, and I could have done one thing different, and as far as the back straightaway, and then it wouldn't have been an issue. But on the front stretch, I knew I was telling Ian in the Discord, and I said, "He's gonna get a run on us. We're sitting side by side. I'm a sitting duck." And at that point, if I'd pulled up, it would have just been, to me, unsportsmanlike. So I wasn't gonna do that. Better to take second gracefully than the win being a turd. So I'm congrats to Rick, and right place, right time. I was just telling Ian, I'm a Petty fan, and it was the same situation today with Eric Jones coming off of turn 4, looking good, but he got too far ahead, and he went from first to sixth in about 1,500 feet.
Somewhere around there and all that. But I mean, good sportsmanship on your end, of course, and respect to you guys as drivers, obviously. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, at least you still come away with something out of it all. And at the end of the day, too, I've got a feeling you guys will be back with this mind, though, with these strategies now playing out. Do you think this will kind of help boost the level of confidence and the control you'll have for next time around?
Yeah, we learned last week what they were doing, and we're not going to run the strat they're running for sure. So, but like sometimes it works out. Like they said, sometimes you bug, sometimes you windshield. But learn from it when you get beat, and make you better for next time.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, as you come away, you're a second place finish, my friend. Is there anybody else you want to thank for this one tonight?
Absolutely. Got to always thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's why we're here. Everything we do is for Him. I got to thank Elliott Sadler Esports, Lennox Industries, Bradley Mechanical, Chevrolet Liners, and Into the Apex for their support. And looking forward to next week.
We sure hope. Look forward to next week as well here. Jason, congratulations, man. Very big win for you and the crew.
Thanks, pal.
Second place coming away here. Of course, win being his overall strategy and everything coming into play here, but did not come away with the W, unfortunately. Yeah, here we go, though, race fans. One last driver to talk with here. And is there any way to stop this guy from winning? I guess there is not, because he continues to do it. Here he is, race fans. The winner again, Rick Seabrans. Seabrans, this whole day, every single person we've talked to said point blank, Bear and Seabrans need to be separated. You two get separated, and then literally, if this wasn't Talladega, I really don't think you would have got that win. No offense, but I mean, this track just gave you a 4-leaf clover and just gave you the biggest run to get this win, man.
I'm going to tell you, I'll be the first to admit that this number 4 Alliance Motorsports Silverado has no business tonight being in victory lane. I mean, what a crazy finish there. I thought me and Jim were going to be in terrific shape there. And then it looked like the 2 lappers were racing really hard on the outside. And I don't know if they just didn't get lined up right. And one of them got turned, got down into my quarter panel. And I was actually just looking at the damage and stuff. And that's pretty severe, the separation for the quarter panel and the bumper there. And it really hurt us in that low line. Tried to push on Jim there, but there was really no way I was going to be able to lead after that. And then, when everybody got caught back up to us there, we all get bunched up, and it's a 1-lap shootout. It's going to be crazy. It's Talladega, and man, how crazy is that? What a run! I'm really glad the 13 and the 15 were kind of side by side there. I think it kind of stalled their momentum and gave us an opportunity. But can't thank these guys enough that put that work on these trucks, all the guys that Chris that puts these shows on, man. This is cool, man. 3 in a row. I'm pretty excited.
3 in a row indeed, and that kind of leads me to one last little thing here, and that is, do you think you can go 4 in a row here with the one coming up next week?
There's no way. If you would have talked to me before this race and asked if I could have did 3 in a row, I would have told you no way, because it's hard enough to win one of these, let alone to get 3. That's just I'm gonna go. I need to go buy some lottery tickets. So, I'm in shock.
In shock, but yet at the end of the day, you're still coming away here today, my friend, with the win. So, anybody else you want to thank for that one?
Jim, for sure, for all the help he had tonight. He had a great pit stop there to get some good track position, was out front. And I hate to see that he got taken out there by some good hard racing. You guys for putting the show on, for all the fans at home watching, and Chris for doing these.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, Rick, what a day it has been. What a long run and race this was from start to finish, and another victory if you want to go. But nevertheless, Rick, congratulations, man. Well deserved.
Crazy.
Sir.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he may not want to take it, but he's gonna get it. So it's at the end of the day, that's how it is, man. Racing, it can be a really weird sport. But nevertheless, from all of us here at P2 Race TV, we really appreciate you for tuning in all 3 of our shows today. We thank you for coming on board. Until next time, race fans, be sure to stay safe. God bless you all. I'll see you next time.